Well, hi everybody. I hope you're enjoying the rally and having a great time in Dallas. And you know, this is a very special opportunity, and especially for me because I'm sat here, as you can see, with two of probably the two most influential men that have been in my life thus far, and I know they've affected you a lot. And of course, he needs no introduction. Gregg Maughan, the founder and CEO of Forever Living Products, is with us. And of course, the president of Forever Living Products, a great friend of all of ours, Gregg Maughan. And yes, they do share the last name. That's the same. So this is a father and son combination. And Rex, where did it start?
Well, I grew up in Soda Springs, Idaho, on a farm. I was riding horses before I walked. I went to my grammar and intermediate schools there in Soda Springs High School, and which was very small. 29 of us graduated together. I was called on a church mission to the Samoan Islands. When I got my call, my letter, and I read it, and it said, you're called for 2.5 years to the Samoan Islands. And I said, I wonder if they misspelled that. I've never seen that word before. And so I had to go get a encyclopedia and look up where Samoa was to know where I'd be going. I learned that the most important thing in life is to help others get what they want in life and need.
I know this is, I could sense the room going quiet now because everyone's like, oh, we want to hear this story. So how did Rex and Ruth actually meet?
After a 2-hour lecture, I met all of the girls by then, and Ruth was sitting next to me, and so I asked her how classes were, and she said, oh, they're great. She says, I'll accept one. And I said, what's that? And she says, tennis. She says, I'm not good in tennis, and I'm trying to learn, but I can't serve. I'm a really terrible server. And I said, well, I'm not really good, but I do know the rudiments of how to serve. So would you like me to help you? And she said, yes, I would really love help. And I said, okay, when? And she says, how about tonight after school? I said, okay. And so I picked her up and started giving her tennis lessons. And by golly, it was not only a few months. And she was so good playing tennis, she beat me every time, and she had no mercy on me. And so that's how our first date.
So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. She started a family and ended up with 3 kids, and here's one of them.
That's right.
Greg, tell us a little bit about what it was like to grow up in the Maughan household.
We were a close family, and we did lots of things together, and it was always a fun time to be around my dad, you know.
Yeah.
We did a lot of family vacations, and funny story is every time we'd go on a family vacation, there was always something business related around it, you know. So I can remember many times him being on a payphone, because back then we didn't have cell phones. So we'd stop at the nearest payphone, and he would be on it for an hour or more, and we'd be sitting in the car, come on, Dad, it's time to go, right? But he had business to take care of, you know. So we definitely learned responsibility was important, that, you know, you had things that you had to take care of, and, you know, sometimes the fun had to wait a little bit.
I liked multi-level because there was an opportunity to help as many people as you could have time to talk to, and if you could train them and teach them and help them get the business started, they could usually always make more money than they were making whatever they were doing at the present time. And so I started looking at the marketing plans of these other companies and said, gee, you know, these are great, and the people that's there are doing good, but I think if they did tweak some of these things and did them differently, that we'd be able to get more people involved and be able to help more people make a better living. And so I started working on the marketing plan.
I would have to say that, Rex has always been a man of not just words, but action. And so when he says, this product's great, he knows that because he's taken it himself, he's used it himself, and he's experienced it himself. And that was we always had forever products everywhere. It was always, we are products of the products. Right. And I think that was really important, especially in the beginning, because that feeling came off genuinely.
Well, I just throw in here that the big thing that happened was a very heavy frost hit all of the United States and even Mexico, and all of the aloe vera froze, and I left Christmas Day to go to South Texas, where at that time we was getting most of our aloe from there. And I went down, and the aloe vera leaves, you could pull them off the plant, and they were frozen, and you could use them for a baseball bat. They were so frozen in that. And so, of course, it was everything clear to Central America.
And there you are, stood in this field in South Texas, and realization that there is no supply. How did that make you feel?
Scary, because, we didn't know where we were going to get aloe from. Without aloe, we couldn't make the products. And so we'd go down the tubes, so would all of the distributors would be the FBOs would all go down, and so it was really scary. And so for the next several months I spent out in the Caribbean, and where it's warm and it didn't freeze, and there was little spotches of aloe. And so we would negotiate with the people that had them, and for a while, just all we'd do is we'd buy, and most of the places that had aloe would only have maybe 1 acre, or if somebody had 5 acres of aloe, it was a miracle. And we purchased them for them, and then shipped them to Dallas to be used for our product. Ever since then, I've made sure that we have plenty of aloe fields with lots of aloe in them, so that we never have another scare like that.
I think he underscores the importance of, most people, I would say, would have gone there and looked at that and would have given up. Mm-hmm. They would have said, well, that's it. Well, I can't fight Mother Nature, she ruined me, and that it is what it is, that's it. But, to have the courage, to have the belief in what he was doing, and to be able to go out and find the solution. And, it didn't come right away. It took many months, as you heard him say, of traveling, of looking, of searching, of talking. But that kind of belief and commitment that he had was something he wasn't going to stop until he found it. Yeah. And really, that event could have been the worst thing that ever happened to Forever, but Rex turned it into being one of the best things that ever happened in Forever. Because of that, we are now the largest grower of aloe vera in the world. We have the largest plantation. We have it in an area in the world where it never freezes, so we don't have to worry about having that problem again. And we have an endless supply now. And to be able to supply to the world of people who are consuming our products. So I grew up with this. It's part of my life, And from a very young age, I was fortunate that Rex wasn't the type that said, I go to work and then I come home and I separate those. No, it was always, Rex included us in everything. And in fact, big meetings, big rallies, big conferences, he included us, kids, in that also. And I can remember from a very young age going and working at the rallies and working at the tables selling literature and product. And I could have gone out and looked for something else, but thankfully Rex said, you know, why don't you come and work down in the warehouse? And so I started out down in the warehouse, moving boxes and driving the forklift and starting to see the beginnings of Forever and how it worked from the inside. We didn't even have time to strategic plan where we were going to next because it was growing so fast. And what I mean by that is when we were doing these 2-week rally trips, we would have people come from other countries to join us in that rally, and they would immediately come up to us as soon as they could to tell us, oh, we're from Romania, or we're from Russia, or we're from Africa, or wherever it is, and we've got 100 people taking your product right now, and we need an office right away because this is going to be crazy in our country. And that's how it grew. It was grassroots level. It was literally people taking the products, getting amazing experiences, and sharing them with the family and friends at home. And it just spread like that. And so we were going as fast as we could to set up an office in Angola and then over in Korea. And I mean, we were back and forth all over the world just to try to take care of the needs of the people.
Gregg, how would you sum up the last 40 years of Forever?
I would say we're just getting started.
Good start.
It's a good start. It's a good start. You know, like Rex said, we've learned a lot through good experiences and bad experiences, just like life, you know. There's so much we can achieve. As an FBO, it's so exciting because you have experience of a 40-year-old company backed behind you, yet the potential to grow is incredible.
We'll continue to have the quality product, the best product possible, and you have our commitment to that. And we want to have opportunities for everybody to be able to be healthier and to be wealthier and to be happier with their families and the opportunities they have through Forever.
I feel a sense of responsibility as I close this because I need to probably speak on behalf of the millions of people who'll be watching this and to thank you both for your vision, for your tenacity, for your courage, for your love, for what you've built. On behalf of me and all of the people that are watching this live today in Dallas and those that will watch it further on is thank you. Thank you, Rex, for all that you've done. We're thrilled with the past 40 and we can't wait for the next 40. Gregg, we appreciate you and we love you both very much.